Today, we're joined by Ray Ray Starr, the Canadian guitarist who shared stages with legends, produced hit records, and brought his electrifying sound to audiences worldwide. Let's welcome Ray Ray to the show. This program is part of the Scene Project's podcast network. The Scene Project features interviews with independent musicians, comedians, and artists from across the Midwest. Become part of our community and support local art wherever you are. Well, welcome into another exciting episode of The Scene. I'm your host, Bubba Startz, and with me today is Ray Ray Starr. Welcome to the show, brother.
Thanks for having me on the show there, Bubba. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, well, the pleasure is all mine. Just getting to know each other a little bit. We're setting up. We're going live on our TikTok and Instagrams. And for a couple of guys like us that have been doing this for a long time, there's still things to learn, isn't there?
I'm still trying to figure out this live thing. It seems to be a fail on my part here. I don't even know how to get it going. But
hey,
yeah, you're right.
You know what?
Right?
That's how we learn, brother. That's how we learn, by failing.
Right?
So before we get too far into everything that you got going on now, I just kind of want to give you the floor and let you give us a little bit of backstory and bring us up to speed. The floor is yours.
Thanks, man. Well, I am Ray Ray Starr. Right now I've got a lot of projects on the go right now, which is I'm feeling pretty blessed, that I've been able to be a part of so many different things here. One of the things that's been pretty cool for me here is I'm a recovered addict, or recovering. I always like to say, I don't like to say recovered because I don't like to take credit saying I'll never use again, because I don't know. I can't say that for sure. I mean, nobody can say that for certain, but I got 16 years behind me, and which is, I'm pretty grateful about that. But what's kind of cool about everything is, the way my life has turned out since the ending of all that lifestyle, if you get my drift, because I ain't that eternally unique. I got sucked up into the rock and roll lifestyle, and I'm sure I'm not the only person that's ever done that. That's for sure. And it took me down a pretty dark path, and but now, because of that, turning my life around, the opportunities that have presented itself is just, it's mind blowing to me, and I'm grateful for it. I definitely have some things that I'm pretty proud of. One of the projects that I'm working on right now and working with is Real Music Live Plus, or Real Music Live. We've already had a couple test airings on NBC, which is amazing. And the whole precedence of the show is basically signed and unsigned bands have to perform live. They're not allowed backing tracks or any mystical tricks that happen behind the scenes that a lot of people don't know that happens with live concerts or live events or even television. And basically it's raw as it can be. It's not a contest. There's no winner. It's nothing like that, but it gives them a chance to truly showcase their musicianship, and pretty proud of that. And then also I have a 10 episode miniseries that we've put together. And also we're starting to write our second season, which is pretty freaking awesome. And amongst that, I just dropped my latest single, which is pretty awesome. It's called One Step Away. And also I'm playing in a band called, I have a side project called Death and Sons. And we're getting ready to release we have 3 songs that we're spacing out here pretty soon. And so quite a bit of things that I got going on.
Yeah, you're a busy guy.
Yeah. Well, and then I also got my own businesses in between that as well, right? Where I help promote other bands and help them get going and connect them with labels. And also I work with film as well to try to put film artists together with basically bring their dreams to fruition. You know what I mean? Like get them to put their ideas into action, basically. So, yeah.
Incredible, man. I love all the things that you're doing for other artists out there. Obviously, a big factor for us as the Scene Projects. And I've never really achieved too great of a, too great of an accomplishment on my own as an artist, but I've always been a huge fan of all the other independent artists around me. And when given the opportunity to start a podcast and support a community, it was very clear which community that was going to be. And just in April, we were, awarded the Content Creator of the Year award from the Midwest Country Music Organization, which is a smallish, org, 300 members strong, but we really dug in and, interviewed probably a third of the members on our show over the course of the last year. That definitely helps juice up the vote when they voting time in, January, February, but just so grateful to have community. Now, I know part of a lot of, the recovering addict life, and whether you're using a program or not, a 12-step NA or AA, it's always very service oriented. Now, is this something that you've kind of taken from, from that side of your life, that recovery side, or have you always been someone that was trying to, reach down and pull up other people with you?
I feel that it was always part of me somewhat, but definitely, I mean, I'm going to say that, the program definitely kind of changed my outlook on things for sure, and it's like, I find like, even when it comes to, making my own music, it's like, how can this affect someone else? Like, let's not make it about me. Let's make it about you. You know what I mean? And I think the biggest songs that ever had any traction, people can relate to. They don't want to hear about me. So I that's what I find works best with music, but I also find it works best with community. You're already doing it. Like, like when you start helping people, all of a sudden you create a community, and next thing you know, you're doing things. I come from a very humble punk rock background. My first commercial recording was when I was 14. I was playing with some older dudes, and next thing you know, we started going from there, if you get my drift, and back in the punk rock days, you got a bunch of bands together that you're all buddies, right? And you go rent a hall and like, we're going to put on a show. And that's like, you didn't wait for people to book you or anything like that. You just made it happen. And, you moved the story up, and a lot of us went on to, owning labels and being promoters and all that stuff, from all the stuff we learned from just doing grassroots postering, telling friends, selling the tickets yourself, doing everything yourself. Right. And so that do it yourself attitude really is helped my career, a lot, because I've just stuck to doing that all along. But when it came to recovery, it definitely made me more involved in like, how can I help others? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. And a big thing with the Scene Projects, and as we continue to grow and we serve that community, so much of what we're teaching is that DIY. Like, look, nobody's coming with a big pile of money and an opportunity for you. Like, those days have been gone for decades now. It's not happening. So you really have to learn how to do it. And what we really focus on is turning people onto the tools that we use. Right. I'm not really trying to make an agency and sign people I don't want to do the work for you, but I will turn you on to the tools that I found that have helped us achieve what we've done. Our show passed 1,000 uploads and 250,000 views on YouTube within 6 months because we use some really powerful tools. Right. So it's really just about turning people onto that, but you still got to be the one rowing your boat. And if you want to jump in and help us row the big boat, hey, we're more than happy to help you and to keep feeding you and to keep supporting you. But, if you're going to be an anchor, we ain't got no room for you. We're going to cut bait from that real quick. And that's anything these days, right? If you're not going to row, the people don't have room for you. And if you're expecting someone to come along and do anything for you, then you have the complete wrong mentality from the get-go.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And, that's unfortunately, when you get some of these musicians that were around longer, if you get my drift, they're still hanging on to those days, where some A&R rep's going to see you play live and that's it. Oh my God, drop everything. I'm signing this guy and I'm going to make him the biggest name in the household. Like those
the
days
labels
are
even
so
employ
beyond over.
A&R reps anymore? Like, is that even a job that's
and if
out
you
there?
if you know an A&R rep, if you know an A&R rep, they're going to be unemployed within 2 to 3 weeks. Like there's just another one coming. Like it just doesn't happen. And the labels have changed their business models as well. Like everything has changed, and everything is changing so rapidly. You have to, well, I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that. Well, then don't be in the business.
Right.
Like, and I hate that I have to say it's a music business, but it's always been a music business and it always will be. It's your business. You're your business, like, so no one's going to push or care more about your product than you. And you have to convince others to do the same, and if you have a message that resonates with people, they'll come for the ride. They'll just do it, so put yourself out there, I guess is the answer, right? Play shows, do what you got to do. Just do it.
That stupid swoosh, man. They had it, back in the 80s, right? Man, great marketing. But that's exactly, talk about a brand and talk about effective marketing. And like, that's what everyone has to be. You have to be all of it and wear all the hats in your music business until you reach until your vibe has resonated with enough people to where other people want to come and help you to excel in those things, right? But nobody's like waiting in the wings for that to happen. You have to get out and in front of them, and you have to work with people that are maybe trying to help you, like a Scene Projects or a Ray Ray Starr, that are like, hey, we have these opportunities, but you also have to be prepared for that opportunity. Nobody's trying to take nobody's really looking for the diamond in the rough. We're looking for people that have kind of chiseled themselves out already, have established themselves, have proven their work ethic in some capacity, and then helping those people get further along. We're not looking to find that, nobody's known this talent and we're going to shape this person. It's just, that's not the nature of the business any longer.
No, once in a while that'll happen. But again, even if that happens, you're out there, you're still, you're doing your thing. Like, people got to see you, you know what I mean? Like, don't see you, hear you, whatever. And, there's a lot of noise because of social media, but at the same time, throw your hat in the ring, man. There always was noise. There was always a boatload of bands, nothing's really changed. It's just a different way how things are happening now. That's all, I had one of the best conversations I think I ever had was he's passed away now. It was Jerry Ragavoy. And if you know who Jerry Ragavoy is, he used to own the Hit Factory in New York. And he wrote, "Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz" for Janis Joplin. He wrote "Wild Horses" for Rolling Stones. Like, the guy was a hit machine, and he was fast talking East Coaster, and I said, so, when I got to talk to him, I was a young guy, right? And I said, hey, as a young guy here, give me a piece of advice. Like what constitutes a hit? And he says, you want to know something? After all these years, he goes, guys like you send me demos and stuff. And he says, first of all, I don't give a crap if you can make your guitar sound like a helicopter. Where the F is the song? Right. And then the other thing he said to me, he goes, man, I have no freaking idea after all these years what makes a hit. He goes, I heard songs where I thought I would bet my left nut on going, this thing is going to be larger than life, and it falls flat on its face. And he goes, and then there's been other songs I thought had nothing. They're garbage, and they end up becoming the biggest hit in the planet. So he goes, if I may give you and he goes, by the way, if a song's meant to go, it's meant to go. So he goes, I don't care if you got the best production, the best producers, best everything on that song. He goes, you could record it because he's old, right? He goes, you could record it with a tape recorder. And he goes, if that song's meant to be, the universe is going to make it go. And he goes, that's the only thing I've learned after all these years of being in the business. If it's meant to go, it's going to freaking go. right? So
Yeah, well, any other advice that he was going to give you would have been wrong, and you would have been like, "That Jerry guy didn't know shit."
yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. But I thought it's kind of funny coming from him of all people, you know what I mean? After, someone that's had so many hits. But he also said, I've heard this before. Diane Warren used the same line. I've heard it from a lot of people, for every 100 pieces of shit, you get one piece of gold. So just keep writing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome, man. Well, I'd
Yeah.
love to spend a few minutes talking about the show and how you're helping some of these bands. Where did the idea come from, and what did it take to kind of develop this? I mean, you don't just kind of like, oh, we're going to do this, and then NBC's knocking at the door. There's always a
Yeah, yeah.
process to this. So has this been something you've been working on for quite some
Oh,
time?
yeah. No, this is not a new thing. And it's not my concept. I can't I can't say it's my show. It's not my show. I work with the people that put together, like, it's a big team here, you know. We're based out of Los Angeles here, and like it's part of the Focus Entertainment Group, and basically working licensing deals and what have you, because it has to be shown in different countries, and every country's got different. It gets a bit messy, right? It's not as easy as, oh, just put a bunch of guys on a stage and let them go at it. Like, there's a lot of legalities involved here. So it's been a bit of a mess. Things got going pretty good, and then COVID hit, and that messed up things a little bit, like, as I'm sure it did for a lot of people. The show was originally based in Los Angeles, but now it's moved over to Las Vegas, and that's where we're going to be filming on the stages there. And, we have a sound stage there. And, and then you got to work out the deals with all the labels too, right? Because they want their band showcased as well, obviously, and they should be. Everybody should have a shot here. So it's been a process, man. It's been a process. But if you guys want to see anything, I encourage you. You can just go onto YouTube, and you just go to RML Plus or Real Music Live. You can type in Real Music Live, and you'll see some things there. My inbox is always getting slam bammed because there's a million bands that want to be on the show, and you know what I mean. And so. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not the guy that picks the bands, like
Right.
I can recommend them.
Ask next is
Yeah.
what is that process even like to try and whittle it down? I mean, you talked about the labels and the signed bands. Obviously, they're going to put a lot of pressure on you because they're using these shows like The Voice or these other shows, right, to push their artists and to push people that they want into the system, right, to get that awesome exposure on these national TV networks. So how does an unsigned band kind of crack that code in essence, and to is it open for anyone to submit to that in some way?
Yes, it is. It absolutely is. So it's like, and just because a band is signed, everyone thinks, oh, like, I don't know, you've heard the story a million times where bands get signed and then nothing happens either, right? Like, they got the same problems as everybody else. They all want exposure. Everybody wants a shot at, give me a stage where I can get some eyes on us, like, because you hope you're going to nail somebody. Because I was watching, just real quick here, I was watching this thing I was on YouTube, actually, and the guy was talking about how he had a few artists who made videos and they went freaking viral. And everybody thinks, oh, I just need to go viral, right? Well, some idiot dancing around there, and it's funny and stuff, and you get a million eyes on it, but these people aren't going to listen to your music. They don't even give a crap about your music. They just want to see some guy dance around. How that was pretty funny, and send it to a bunch of people. So in actuality, that's not exposure. That's no one's going to come to your show. No one is going to even go to Spotify and listen to it or whatever. You know what I mean? So being viral is not the answer, right? So, but if you can be on a platform where, a lot of people are there for the music, then your chances are going to be better. So everybody wants to be a part of this, and of course we're licensing into other countries as well. So it's going to be similar to, like, American Idol, the way it works, but in the fact that we're not a contest, because we don't really feel music should be competitive.
Right, it's almost a throwback to like American Bandstand or something like that.
Exactly. There you go.
70s,
yeah,
right? Yeah,
that's right.
Cool.
Yeah, it's along the lines of that. Very cool. So it's been pretty awesome. I mean, we've already we've already had it, like I said, a couple test airings on NBC, and we had some pretty cool bands on it. But then, like I said, COVID kind of put things on hold, and then we had to rebuild it up again and stuff. And so we're gearing up.
So you've been working on this for 6-7 years.
Oh yeah, this is not a new thing.
I mean, you obviously have a lot of other
this project
between, but yeah.
So it's been awesome, and there's some pretty amazing people that are involved in it too.
So Ray, what is your role in the show then? Like, what's your job in this huge machine that is RML?
Well, I'm actually a promotions producer, basically, right? So I help get it out there. I help with all the media end of things, advertising, promotions, whatever have you. You know what I mean? That's basically my main goal there, or role, I should say.
And is that a big part of what, you mentioned some of your businesses and stuff. Is that really what you're known for in these circles around the music business, is for your promotion abilities?
Yes. So like, I also own a company. It's called Sirius Entertainment Brokerage. And like I said, I put people together. I bring people together. So I'm usually dealing with labels and stuff like that. I don't usually deal with the artist directly, unless, someone in particular, I'll try to help label. I put people together, right? So like, let's say someone comes to me and, man, I would really like to work with this producer. Well, I can, if I feel it's a fit, I can make it happen, or at least get the conversation started or whatever, you know what I mean? Put people together that way. So that's the purpose of Sirius Entertainment Brokerage. But, like even with the other company here, I mean, I'm not running around like on Instagram going, hey, I'm over here, let's do business. It's a little more, I'm a little more behind the scenes, if you get my drift. So,
yeah. A connector for people that are kind of already in the business and are working, not necessarily for, finding new artists to bring them in and connect them, just kind of hanging out and making introductions. It sounds like a pretty sweet gig.
Yeah, well, it's just from years and years and years of being in the business. You know what I mean? I just took all those connections that I've made over the years, and it's kind of, obviously it all kind of came together into something. You know what I mean? It was a nothing that became a something, right? But that's kind of, if it's just like we were talking about, that's how music business is. It's like half my buddies that, I give you an idea. I got one guy, he used to just film us all riding around on skateboards. And the guy went on to be a freaking awesome freaking director, but it started from making skateboard videos. You know what I mean? Not just for ourselves. So that's kind of, it's grassroots, right? That's the beauty, I feel, of the music industry. It's like, if you can dream it, you can make it. But if you're going to sit there and wait for someone else to make it for you, well, good luck. But like, if you're going to take the initiative, you start knocking on doors, they start opening.
No doubt. For us, I mean, we started this podcast 18 months ago with a couple of microphones and serving our small organization. I was a brand new member of the Midwest Country Music Organization in April of 2024. We went to their award show, didn't know anybody, went, how are we going to what are we going to do? And I had just started the podcast. I had maybe 3 episodes, and I brought my mics with me. I sat down at the table at jam night the night before the awards show, and I interviewed 25 members. Right.
Deadly.
And then
that's awesome.
When we're back this year, nominated for the Content Creator of the Year award on the red carpet, we did 35 interviews, and it's like, oh, okay, this is our thing, right? And just being a part of that organization was so clear to me. It's like, oh, this is what I want to do. I want to talk to all these people. I want to support all these people's careers in whatever way I can. And now our show actually is now on Roku, Apple, and Amazon, with a network called True TV Plus. I got to, host some of my friends for what I called a songwriter showcase, not dissimilar from your guys' show. We filmed it in broadcast, quality cameras. This was last December in St. Paul, Minnesota. And one of our friends we had on there, Samantha Grimes, is now nominated for 2 Grammys for an album she released this year, right? And it's like, just like you said, like, you never know what you're going to do keep knocking on those doors. And, before you know it, if you do this long enough, eventually you look around and you're like, oh, we're towards the top of the heap now. Like, how the hell did that happen?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like, do you know who Tom McDonald is? Rapper?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I had a show that I started like in 2009. It was called 23 Code. It was just a similar thing, just interviewing bands and music industry professionals. And I had no idea what I was doing. And I met Tom and he was sleeping on my buddy's studio floor. That's how I met him, because he wanted to learn how to make beats and look at him now. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's the same thing, man. It's awesome. And
yeah,
one thing
and it
that
all comes back to work. It all comes back. Are you willing to put the work in? Right. And
Yep.
Tom was just committed to doing it. And you even look back to 5 years ago, he kind of cracked in that COVID time period. And even his early videos, man, they're filming them at their house. They are, in their home studio and building this. And now the guy's one of the biggest musical acts on the planet without any of that major label support. I don't know where he's at in his career now, but I mean, I assume that he's still independent, because why would you give away any control over your own career when you literally built it from the ground up? And that's what we're trying to, to work with a lot of artists to build them up. And we hope that maybe one day a record label comes along to them and makes their life maybe a little bit easier. And those people who seek out that superstardom can have that opportunity to perform around the globe and to have sold out arenas, right? I don't think I've ever had that dream. My dream's always been a little bit different, but I feel just as successful without a lot of those things, because of who I get to hang out with, right? And the things that I get to do. I'll be covering the Josie Music Awards in November from this silly podcast that I started in my garage studio. It's incredible.
Well, that's how it works, though. It's just how it works, And if it's meant to go, it'll go. And if it's not meant to go, well, then you can shift. This is the best part about it. I mean, think about like the tools that are available to us now are just like next level. Like we didn't have a voice like this before. You know what I mean? And you can test it. It's like, hey, you know what? That didn't work. Okay, so I'm gonna try this, or I'll try that. And it's like you just keep going. But as long as you keep throwing it out there and you're creating, and you got to ask yourself, what's my purpose here? I know for me, when I took the focus away from trying to quote unquote make it and make it more about helping others, that's when everything shifted in ways that I can't even explain, and you basically, your story is the exact same thing. You started helping people and all of a sudden things started blowing up for you, right? As opposed to going, look at me. It's more about like, hey, I want to help them. And it's like when you start helping others, it's like, holy hell. And that's really, to me, well, it sounds cheesy, man. I really feel that's the secret of life. Like, what's my purpose here, right?
Right. And it's to serve, and everyone serves in their own way. And, we all kind of have our roles. I'm very grateful to have found one that I fit into. I mean, if you would have told any of my friends and family growing up that I was going to find a way to build a career running my mouth, they would have believed you. It just took me a little while to figure out, how that was going to serve someone besides myself. And now I'm so grateful every day that I get to have conversations like this one, or with someone who's just starting out. Now we have connections to some of these, some of these young people are teenagers. They're, just starting their careers, and we're able to give them, a little bit of advice, a little bit of, what we've learned over 25 years in the business, and to just continue to encourage them in every way, and to put their music out there for the world to see, whether it's on our, tiny YouTube channel, or now it's on our, Roku TV app, or it's on, network television on NBC with Real Music Live. It's just, there's so much to be done, and every single artist needs that exposure. And I'm grateful for guys like you that are out there, supporting those artists, and supporting a guy like me to come on my show and everything. Like, this helps me people are going to watch this because of you or their connection to you and see what we're doing. And maybe we get to have another conversation down the road, and that excels our career. And maybe instead of covering the Josies, which we'll continue to do as long as they'll have us, and our Midwest Country Music Awards, as long as they have this, but maybe it opens up an opportunity to go and cover the Grammys or to cover, another large event. And you just never know where it's going to go.
No, you don't. And that's the beauty of it. You know what I mean? Just like Jerry Ragavoy said, I have no idea what's going to go. If the universe wants it to go, it's going to freaking go. Right. So just keep throwing it out there. Right. Obviously you've been called to do it, or you wouldn't be doing it, and like, it's even like that show, it came across because, my old manager who managed me for years and years, he passed away, but it brought me to this opportunity. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be with them. Do you know what I mean? So
Incredible.
It's just a comedy of errors, if you're being guided there, that's where you're going to go, right? Go where the wind shows you to go, right? If I can give one piece of advice, because I've been guilty of this, is scramble. I got to go here. I got to do this. I got to do that. Got to get. And then you end up doing a half-assed job of everything, as opposed to just going, okay, just sit still for a minute and go, what am I supposed to do? And just be with yourself, just chill the F out, because it's pretty easy to get wrapped up in, I'm just talking about me, into the latest trend that's happening and this and that. Oh, I got to jump on that. Oh, I got to jump. You can't be the master of everything, and as you start to grow, you start to delegate, and as you delegate, then things grow even further. Right. So
yeah,
it's
fantastic. Ray, anything you want to plug here before I let you go?
Oh yeah. So again, I dropped a single last weekend. It's called One Step Away. It's a play on words, but it's about basically I wrote it in a very, very dark space in my life when basically I was struggling with addiction to get clean. And then it's also about the struggle to stay clean. And I wrote the song basically to hopefully help anybody that's struggling with those kind of thoughts. And if you're an addict, it'll really ring true with you. I really hope, and I'm pretty grateful about that. So you can hear it in all your regular, wherever you go to listen to music, it's out there. I have another single dropping on October 24th, which I'm pretty happy about that one too. But that one's a little more fun. It's just a balls out rocker. It's just wave your hands in the air and, drive fast and cut people off in traffic kind of thing, song. And then also, I just got featured in an online magazine too. And, I want to plug my supporters if I get a moment here. If you guys are a guitar player and you need something raging, I highly recommend go check out Red 7 Amps. They have been working with me for quite a while, and freaking amazing amps. They'll blow your mind. And also, I work with Tour Gear Design and Mercury Magnetics, and of course, if also DR Strings, best strings ever. Love them. Great people, great to deal with. And so anyway, go check those things out. I highly recommend you do. You'll be happy about that. And again, go over to YouTube, go check out Real Music Live, and just do it a like and a subscribe. Would be amazing. And you can message me and if you want to figure out about getting some exposure there or what have you, right? Or the easiest way is just go to rayraystar.com. I think that's the easiest way to get a hold of me. And there'll be all my people there that you can contact, publicists and whatever. Yeah.
Awesome, Ray. Well, thank you so much for your time today. Great conversation. And thanks for being part of the scene.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me on the show, Bubba. Appreciate you, bro. Cheers.